with your own parties, the Sinn Féin members, on councils and town councils around the country. What are they to say?
Well, we're meeting with the representatives of Sinn Féin's National Councillors Forum, and their concerns, I suppose, and our party's concerns is that the proposals put forward by the government are not going to enhance local government. There's much talk from the government in terms of improving local government and devolving powers, but in line with what Fianna Fáil were doing in government, removing powers on waste, powers on health, this government is continuing with it by removing powers and functions around water. They're removing services, road taxes being removed this month from local authorities. So you have services as well like that, services to local people, they're being removed from local council offices and from local authorities. And you know, if you're going to have local government reform, the traffic needs to be in the other direction. We need to be devolving services, devolving functions, devolving powers down to the lowest possible unit of local government. And Minister Hogan's reforms doesn't do that. It's simply a cull of councillors, it's a cull of councils, and that needs to change. And in the coming days, Eileen, we'll be putting forward proposals in terms of that. You know, we believe that we need to have strong local district councils. We're for reform. We would agree with the government on that what is there does need to be reformed, but we need to put in place something better, not something worse. So we do need strong local councils, local district councils. Those councils need to have a wide range of services to provide. Councillors need to be empowered with proper powers, and the powers of councillors versus county and town managers needs to improve. At the moment, and since 1940, county councillors' powers and town councillors' powers have diminished. The powers of managers has increased, and that has, you know, we need to change the balance, because at the end of the day it's the councillors who are elected, not the county managers, and that needs to change also. So we'll be looking at that and trying to put forward proposals around that and building on our existing policy, and really arguing for a more representative and accountable form of local government. That's really what we want.
But are there not too many town councils, city, county councils? Like, they do need to be amalgamated, and some of them do need to be cut.
Well, we're for reform, and we have said, you know, you must have reform. You know, you have a ridiculous situation where some very small towns have town councils. You have huge towns with populations of up to 30,000 that don't have a town council. So of course there's a need for reform, and of course there's a need for change. But what we would say there is that, you know, we want to wind up with a situation that we have a European system of local government. At the moment we have one of the highest ratios of population per councillor already, right? So, you know, there's a lot of myths there to be debunked about that. We would certainly see a need to reduce, in some cases, the number of councillors that are there, in some cases, but we don't see it necessary to have a cull. If we were to use, for example, the figure the percentage that we're using in the north, and that have been used, you would wind up reducing the number of councillors, the number of councillors actually in the state, by about 150 to 200. But you would wind up with better councils, with better local district councils, under what we were proposing.
Is this not just a case of councillors, you know, worried about losing their job, or and that they won't, you know, be there the next time round?
Well, we shouldn't be in the business of keeping councillors in jobs if they're not doing the job that they should be there for. So the key thing is, and I'll revert back to this, is that we need to give councils proper functions and roles, and councillors proper powers to carry those out. That has to be the bedrock of it. But you know, we must have a situation where parts of the state are not left unrepresented, and particularly marginalised communities, because, you know, at the end of the day, councillors, indeed councillors of all parties, often have to pick up the slack where there are serious local problems, and try and represent people and work with local communities to get those issues addressed. So we don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know, it's a very populist thing to say, you know, just get rid of all councils and get rid of all councillors, or get rid of most of them. But you need to be careful, because, you know, the first person the public come looking for in a lot of cases is the local councillor when there's an issue to be addressed. But sure, there is waste there at the moment, there does need to be changed. There can be improvements. There does need to be more efficiency. But the key thing is we must wind up with a form of local government that's accountable to local people, that provides services to local people, and that those people that are elected do have the powers to make changes in the interests of the citizens, not unelected county managers as we are having at the moment.